Hak şerleri hayreyler ya Allah Allah. Zannetme ki gayreyler ya Allah Allah. Arifanı seyreyler ya Allah Allah. Mevlam görelim neyler ya Allah Allah. Neylerse güzel eyler ya Allah Allah. Deme şun için şöyle ya Allah Allah. Yerincedir ol öyle ya Allah Allah. Bak sonuna sabreyle ya Allah Allah. Mevlam görelim neyler ya Allah Allah. Neylerse güzel eyler ya Allah Allah. Hiç kimseye hor bakma ya Allah Allah. İncitme gönlü yıkma ya Allah Allah. Sen nefsine yan çıkma ya Allah Allah. Mevlam görelim neyler ya Allah Allah. Neylerse güzel eyler ya Allah Allah. Her söyleyeni dinle ya Allah Allah. Ol söyleteni anla ya Allah Allah. Hoş eyle kabul canla ya Allah Allah. Mevlam görelim neyler ya Allah Allah. Neylerse güzel eyler ya Allah Allah. Vallahi güzel etmiş ya Allah Allah. Billahi güzel etmiş ya Allah Allah. Tallahi güzel etmiş ya Allah Allah. Allah görelim netmiş ya Allah Allah. Netmişse güzel etmiş ya Allah Allah. Netmişse güzel etmiş ya Allah Allah. Gönül çalabın tahtı, çalap gönüle baktı. İki cihan bedbahtı, kim gönül yıkar ise. İlahi bir aşk ver bana, kandallım bilmeyim. Kaybedeyim ben beni, isteği ben bulmayım. Al gider benden benliği, doldur içime şenliği. Dirilikte öldür beni, varıp orada ölmeyim. Sen sana ne sanırsan, ayrugada onu san. Dört kitabın manası budur eğer var ise. Bülbül olup öteyim, dost bağında yatayım. Gül olup ben açayım, ayrukta his olmayım. Aşktır derdin dermanı, aşk yoluna koydum canı. Yunus Emre'm aydur bunu, bir dem aşksız olmayım. Gül Ayşem aydur bunu, bir dem aşksız olmayım. Bildin gelenler geçmiş, konanlar geri göçmüş. Aşk şarabından içmiş, kim mana duyar ise. Aşk şarabından içmiş, kim mana duyar ise.
Hello. Can you hear my sound? Well, if you can send me a signal about it, I will be really glad. I'm connecting via StreamYard. Teşekkür ederim. Harika. So you can hear me well right now? If you give me sign about it, I will be really glad. Welcome, everybody. This is happening. So perfect. Thank you. So let's just wait some more minutes, just in case somebody will join to the journey. And as you have already seen, most probably, meantime, you can just grab a pen and a notebook. And if you have a candle, you can have, because we will have a ritual as well. And if you can make your screen bigger, so in order to prevent some distractions, even like make your mobile maybe in silence, to be fully in the ritual and getting prepared to this holy month. And yeah, in 2 more minutes we will start. maybe you can say who is there. I know that some friends were joining as well. Like if you can just text in the comments, who are you and from where you are joining, so that I can feel more relaxed. Okay, so maybe we can start then. First of all, I really want to welcome you, those who are live here and also who are watching this recording later. Maybe this Ramadan you will be alone, you will not be with your elders, with your community, with your family, and you are looking for your way out of this, and maybe because of that you are here. Or maybe Ramadan is something that you are looking forward, and in order to add some juice, you are here. Hello. And maybe you are doing Ramadan for many years, and this year you want to look for the meaning, real meaning for you. What does it mean for you? Or maybe it's first time that you are doing Ramadan and you are here in order to get some inspiration. Maybe you don't have anything to do with Ramadan, but you are here for Rabia. Or maybe you are here, you don't know why you are watching this. I just wanted to acknowledge while starting that whatever your intention is, whatever your story is, whatever your background is, you are more than welcomed to this circle. Even though we are not physically together, I see you, I hear you, and I'm very glad that you are right now here in the circle. And after saying that, I would love to explain you a bit about myself. I am Ayşegül Güzel Berges Delarco, as you can see. I call myself as a lover lately, a lover of life, because since I have realized that I have been a lover in all my life, I'm really accepting it and feeling very blessed of this. I love human beings, I love being human, and I love being me. I love rituals, creating sacred spaces, and being in a journey. I'm from Turkey, from Anatolia. And one of the things that I love most is the songs of my own land, especially spiritual songs. I sing them, I learn them, I contemplate on them, I embody them, I dance with them. I have facilitated many gatherings, and I saw seeds of different communities, especially in the area of social entrepreneurship, social change, social technology, and alternative economies. And these days I'm working on my brand called My Sacred Space. I'm creating content and products in order to help people to welcome their rituals and create their own sacred spaces. And I'm living right now in Spain with my beautiful family, with my husband and with my 2 kids. And after this brief introduction, I would love to explain you what to expect from today. So first of all, we will have some wisdom sharing about Rabi'a Al Adawiyya. And again, as a reminder, maybe you already have connection with Rabia, spiritual connection with her, or maybe you are starting to have some connection, or maybe you have never heard about her, or you heard but you don't have any connection with her. I just wanted to tell you that this experience is for everybody. Next, we will do a meditation in order to get guidance from Rabia for the blessing Ramadan, for the upcoming month. And finally, I will talk a bit about the journey of love for Ramadan that I was working on the last 2 months. Having said this, as we have said, importance of today, why we met today and what is going on today. As a reminder, and also for those who doesn't know, Ramadan is starting. It will be in the 13th of April, so this Tuesday. Ramadan is a holy month and for Muslim people, and it is the 9th month of the Muslim calendar. It is when people fast by abstaining from food, from drinks, and sexual intercourse from dawn to sunset. Ramadan is a month of guidance for us to know about ourselves and so that we can know about God. It's a holy month, actually. It's called as the Sultan of the 11 months because it's the month when the Quran, the holy book, has been revealed to Prophet Muhammad from the heavens. Especially this specific night is called as the night of power. And Ramadan is a guidance where you will receive the proofs about reading yourself and learn the art of living life as a ritual. You will receive guidance to God, to see God in everything, and so that your way of living will convert to a worship. And it is a month where, in a way, it is a journey to the unknown. So you will receive light, you will receive proofs, and you will receive questions to you will receive answers to the questions that you have asked for. And whatever you receive in Ramadan will serve you all your life. At least this is how I perceive Ramadan and how I experience it. And that's why I'm looking forward to it. And again, as a reminder that maybe you do not fast or you do not do any rituals of Ramadan, still it's a holy month according to Quran, which is a magical book. And many people will climb to a hill for a sightseeing of the moon. And once they see the crescent moon, they will take this as an opportunity to go to an inner journey. So it is an invitation for all of us to go to an inner journey and to hold space for ourselves in the search of our truth. I want to acknowledge this as well. So after speaking all about the details, now let's pause here and get some breath. Maybe 3 deep breaths. Maybe you can just close your eyes and come to your breath and really being here, really feeling the connection, even though we are connected via computer and we are all in different places. If you have candles and if you didn't light them, it could be the time to light them. Because what will happen is we officially will open our sacred space. I would love to open the space with a spiritual song from a person called Niyazi Misri. Before starting to sing, I would love to share with you it is lyrics both in English and Turkish. If you would like to join, it's a medicine. The songs are all medicine, so you can join. This is the English translation made by me. If you have any recommendations or bettering about it, just let me know. And this is the, oops, it's getting mixed, but it's okay. So, okay. So let's start and enjoy and really feel and get it inside. Try to realize the lyrics if they are great. Let's do this. Derman arardım derdime, derdim bana derman imiş, bürhan sorardım aslıma, aslım bana bürhan imiş, aslım bana bürhan imiş. Sağı solu gözler idim, ben dost yüzün görsem de yuh, ben taşrada arar iken ol can içinde can imiş, ol can içinde can imiş. Öyle sanırdım ayrıyam, dost gayrıdır ben gayrıyam, benden görüp işitmeyen biteri. Bildim ki olacağın imiş. Bildim ki olacağın imiş. Savmu salatı hac ile sanma biter zahir işin. İnsanı kamil olmaya lazım olan irfan imiş. Lazım olan irfan imiş. Kandan gelir yolun senin, yakanda varır menzilin. Nereden gelip gittiğini anlamayan hayvan imiş. Anlamayan hayvan imiş. Mürşit gerektir bildire, hakkı sana kal yakin. Mürşidi olmayanların bildikleri güman imiş. Bildikleri güman imiş. Anla hemen bir sözdürür, yokuş değildir düzdürür. Alem kamu bir yüzdürür, gören anı hayran imiş. Gören anı hayran imiş. İşit Niyazi'nin sözün, bir nesne örtmez hak yüzün. Haktan ayan bir nesne yok. Gözsüzlere pinhan imiş. Gözsüzlere pinhan imiş. So let's start with the wisdom share of Rabia. Wish me good luck. I feel like it's really hard thing to explain about it. I will do my best. So, those information that we receive about Rabi'a Al Adawiyya are not 100% trustworthy, actually, because we are reading her biography, not biography, there's not any biography, but we are reading about her stories from people who lived many years after her death, which is very common for many saints, actually. But there is something which this information is showing to us. One is that everybody is talking about Rabia as Rabia, not Rabi'a of Adawiyya, not Rabia of Basra. They're always referring to her as Rabia. This is showing us that she was a very well-known person, and by saying Rabia, it was enough. And the second thing to take care of, she lived in the 6th century. She born in 717, and at those times where women was not that respected as well respected as men, she was referred again and again, and she was basically like a very important character, and this is really incredible looking from this point of view. So when we are looking to her childhood, we are getting information from Feridun Attar, who lived actually 400 years later than Rabia. And even from her birth, we are receiving information about stories about her and her miracles. She born to a very poor family. When she born, the story says that they even didn't have any oil for their lamp or any fabric to wrap her. So the mother asked to her father to go to a neighbor to ask for some oil lamp. And the guy promised that he would never ever ask anything to anybody, which was a common spiritual practice at those times. So he behaved as he was going, but he didn't go and he didn't receive anything. So at night he fell asleep very sadly. And in his dream, he saw Prophet Muhammad, who said to him that your daughter is a very loved one of the God, and she will help many people to choose the right path. So no worries at all. Go to Emir of Basra, the governor of the city of the Basra, and say him that he's praying. Write him a letter saying that he's praying every Thursday and every day for Prophet Muhammad, but last Thursday he forgot. So because of that, he needs to help to poor and also you. So he did it. Emir of Basra was just completely astonished, and he helped. He respected the family a lot. So we are beginning to hear these stories about her birth just from the start. And then after his parents' death, she became a slave. And one day, a person approached to her. She was very worried, and she began to run, and she fell down and she hurt her ankle. And then she began to pray for God, and she said, "Oh my Lord, I'm orphan. I don't have any mother. I don't have any father, and I'm slave, as you see. But I don't grieve. What I just need is your knowing that you are constant with me. You are blessed with me." And they say that they hear a sound saying that, "Don't grieve. Even the angels will envy you hereafter." And there's another story about her slavery, that one day she was praying, and while she was praying, her master saw her. There was a light just up on her head, but the light actually was without chain. It was just flowing on the air. So the master saw, and he was really surprised, and he didn't sleep all the night. And in the morning, he said to Rabia that she's free because she's an important person spiritually. So this is how Rabia got her freedom from slavery. Then some fact about Rabia, which is important, is she never got married. And this is thanks to her freedom after slavery, actually. Because at that time, the fathers were deciding with who the person will marry. And it was not easy. It was not a common situation that women will not marry. So she could decide not to marry at that time, even though she was very famous and many people wanted to get married with her. She was always responding in the same way, that I don't have any place in my heart beside God. And at that point, I would love to read you two prayers of Rabia, which is very typical and showing her romanticism, right, to God. One night, she offered at night upon her roof. She said, "Oh, my Lord, the stars are shining, and the eyes of men are closed, and the kings have shut their doors, and every lover is alone with his beloved, and here I am alone with you." And another one, she prayed, "Oh, my Lord, if I worship you from the fear of hell, burn me therein. And if I worship you for the hope of paradise, exclude me therefrom. But if I worship you for your own sake, then never separate me from your eternal beauty." Very characteristics of Rabia and her love to God and her way of relationship with God. Very characteristic for her. And there are many miracles about Rabia. I would love to share with you two of them. One is, one day two elders are coming to Rabia's house. They are hungry and they want to eat something. And Rabia is living really an austere life. She doesn't have anything. So she just has two bread, which are not fresh, and she's offering this to elders. And she's not very happy about it. And suddenly, somebody is on the door, and she's opening, and there is this beggar. And she takes the bread and she gives this to the beggar, and the elders feel a bit offended, but they don't say anything. And then again, another person is knocking on the door, and she's opening, and then there is a slave, and this slave is saying, my master sent you these breads, fresh bread, hot bread. And she's getting, and she's counting them, and there are 18 breads there. And she says, these are not mine. Slave says, no, my master sent this to you. She says, no, sir, these are not mine. Then she closed the door. The elders are shocked. They are watching what is going on. Then another time, and she's opening the door, the slave again. She says, okay, this is your breads. And she counts, there are 20 of it. And she says, okay, these are mine. Goodbye. She's closing the door. And elders are looking to her like, what is going on here? And she explained, you know what? I wanted to serve you well. And when the beggar came, I gave these 2 breads to the beggar, saying to my Lord, okay, my Lord, you say that if I give you 1, you will give me 10. So now I am, to make you happy, I am giving these 2. So please send me 20. So when 18 came, I understood that or these are not mine, or there is a problem here. And like, of course, the elders were like, just poor, what is going on here? And again, there is another story of Rabia with Hassan Basra, which there are many stories. They tell that they were very good friends. Actually, we know that they didn't live at the same time. But anyway, this is another fact. But one day, Hassan Basra is coming to visit Rabia. And they are speaking. The conversation is so flowing from heart, very muhabbat. And they are talking about love to the God and everything. Rabia needs to cook, but she said this conversation is more important, so she's not cooking. At night, they will break their fast. There's no food, they think so. Suddenly, they are looking, and there is this food, meat, just cooked, fresh, hot. They say the best food they have ever eaten. It's very important, this story, because it is kind of showing the lifestyle of Rabia. Like, she didn't have anything. She fully trusted to God, and God always gave whatever she needed, she exactly needed to her. So after talking about this, I would love to tell a bit about Rabia's Sufi teachings. So those people who wrote about the Sufi teachings, such as Abu Talib al-Makki, Kushairi, Ghazali, they referred again and again to Rabia. And another important information here is that we never hear that Rabia has a spiritual teacher, actually, which is very weird for those times. There is a writer called Munawi explained this situation in a way. He says there are 2 groups of people. One who needs somebody to reach to God, to the union with God, such as especially Prophet Muhammad. And then there are other people who does not need anything in order to reach to the union with God. And he says Rabia and Gailani both are in the Abdul Qadir Gailani are both in this group. And who they are talking about? They are talking about Arif, Ashik, Eren, saints, illuminated people. And they say that we know that the information to these people are coming directly from God. They are not learning. It's not like me. I'm reading and I'm learning about Rabia and I'm here trying to explain you and I'm excited if I will forget to say stuff. They say like the information is just coming to them and it is the true wisdom, which you are feeling again and again in singing all the spiritual songs and learning about Rabia's offerings, about Sufi tradition. So then there is also another saying that there is as much path as the number of the people who are walking through the path for the illumination, for the union with God. And still, in Sufi tradition, they try to explain this path in some way. Like, okay, a dervish is making the intention to reach the union with God, and he's starting to a journey. And Sufi teachings try to explain it that he's passing from different steps or doors, if it's okay to say. So I will just refer to these steps and doors in order to be able to explain Rabia's Sufi teaching. And it will be more clear for you when I will refer them. First one is repentance, patience, and gratitude. The first, so the dervish is just on his path, and the first stage that he is in is the repentance, gratitude, and patience. There is a story of Rabia about it, and it says that they asked to her, if a person really feels sorry about a sin, God accepts his sin. And Rabia says, it is the way around. If a person feels sorry, asks for repentance, it means that God already accepted this, already forgive him, so that he is in a situation to be sorry. So like, it's really mind-blowing for me in a way, because I have been in many situations in my life journey where I felt really sorry for my behaviors, and I was like I was harsh to myself, you know. I was really behaving harshly, and this perception of her is really mind-blowing for me. Really, she's looking all the concepts from totally another angle, which is incredible. The next step of the dervish is hope and fear. After the repentance, patience, and gratitude, the dervish is coming to hope and fear. For Sufis, hell and paradise are not materialistic words. They are the situation of not being in union with God. If you are not in union with God, you are in hell, and if you are in union with God, you are in paradise. And actually, Rabia is the person for the first time who put this in such a way. And it is rumored that Rabia one day is explaining her her dream. She says, okay, I prayed to God, and then I went to sleep. And in my sleep, I saw a dream. And in the dream, there was this big tree. And on the tree, there were fruits, white, yellow, and red fruits. It was a beautiful tree. There were beautiful fruits, like the breasts of the girl. And she said like, oh, they are so beautiful. I would love them to be mine. And a sound said, these are yours. She was, oh, these are mine. She was going around the tree, and suddenly she realized there are 18 fruits on the ground. And she said, oh, these 18 golden fruits, I would love them to be mine as well. Why they are here? I would love them to be on the tree. And the sound said, actually, they were yours as well. But while you were praying, you just thought if the bread that you were cooking was okay or not. This is why they are on the ground, which is explaining in a great way about hope and fear and total trust or not. And again, they asked to Rabia, what is the core of her belief? And she said, I have not served God from fear for hell, for I should be like a wretched hireling. If I did it from fear, nor from love of paradise, for I should be a bad servant if I served for the sake of what was given. But I have served him only for the love of him and desire for him. And again, another story about this path is Rabia one day is walking, and there is this teacher explaining to his students. He's saying, like, if you continue to knock the door, one day that door will be open. Never lose your hope, right? And Rabia cannot stand anymore, and she says, how long you will continue to say this, that if you knock the door, if and door really exists, or if it exists, if it is closed. So this is the perception of Rabia about the hope and fear stage of the path. The next one is Fakr, which is poverty. I'm not sure if it is the correct translation. Asceticism, zuhd, oneness, tawhid, and tevekkül, trust. So Hasan Basri is asking to her how she discovered the secret. And Rabia is answering, you know of the how, but I know of the howless. And this is in a way explaining the zuhd, the fakr, this place of poverty in a way, like it's symbolic in a way, saying that I am all ready to leave my dark sides, or see them and in a way combine them, unite them in order to unite with God. And when questioned by someone as why she never accepts any help from any person, there were many people who wants to help her, she doesn't accept. Many people of her friends say, we can ask for help for you. She never accepts. She was living with nothing. And she said, like, okay, I can ask to my Lord, who is the owner of everything. And I feel ashamed to ask to my Lord for something. So how I will ask to somebody actually who is not the owner of anything, was her perception. And here it is important to talk about Tawhid, which is one of the core principles of the Sufi tradition. We say oneness, but actually the Tawhid belief is quite more than oneness. In Quran, they say shirk is totally prohibited. And shirk is, in a way, giving a partner, saying that there is a partner, God has partner, like there is another thing creating stuff, which is totally prohibited. So Tawhid is, in a sense, accepting that whatever is happening is from God. Whatever appears, disappears. Whatever exists or not exists. Like there is one absolute. There is one unity. There is just one. So it is really important and really incredible topic, and really the core. It's not like just God is one, but it's like there is this just one absolute, which is really in a remembrance bring us to the unity. And once you accept this is bring us to the tawakkul, which is total trust, and that just living and beginning to be this, okay, like the steps, the doors for the dervish to reach to the unity, right? And here there is this nice story of Rabia, that she is going one day to a pilgrimage to Mecca with her donkey, and suddenly the donkey died with everything on him. And everybody wants to help to Rabia, and very typical of Rabia, she doesn't accept. And she's alone in the desert, and she begins to talk with his God and her God, and she says, okay, this is how you behave to your visitor. The sultans behave this way to their visitors. I'm coming to see you, and I'm your visitor. I am alone in the desert, and you are killing my donkey. And suddenly the donkey wakes up and continue to its way with all loaded. So again, like showing the trust and the oneness perception of Rabia. And before finishing the wisdom share, the last path on this dervish way is love, ingenuity, which is marifat, love, ashq, and unity. So the love is said is the last stage, which it includes the consent. I'm not sure if it is the correct word, again, like being razı olmak, being pleased, being satisfied, right? And enthusiasm. And it's said that once you are in the stage of love, the secrets of life begins to dissolve to you. All the veils disappear, so you begin to see God in everything, and you feel the unity with God, which is marifat. And for Sufi, humans are in love, and God is the beloved. And there is this belief that this love situation can be lived in this world time to time, but in hereafter we will be able to live it forever. And about the consent, Kushairi, there is a saying that consent, being pleased, is two-sided. Like one is the human is being pleased from God, and then God is being pleased from the human, the servant. And Kushairi says that whenever I am pleased with God, I know that God is pleased with me. So like nothing is outside, really everything is inside, right? And although Rabia is not the first person who says that in order to reach unity, love is the crucial thing. She is the one who walked the talk. All her life has been the message of love from start till the end. And also she's the person who united the doctrine of the discovery, who said that once you go with love, at the end, whatever you see is God. This is the first person who says this, who put it this way, has been Rabia. And also she is the first person who talked about unrequited love in a way. A love for not waiting any reward or for punishment. She's the first person who did this at that time. So one day in a Sufi circle, they were talking about what is generosity. And one person said, yes, generosity is giving from your money. The other person said, it's more than that, giving from yourself. And Rabia said, you menfolk are wrong. And they said, okay, what womenfolk you are thinking about this? And she said, it is love for the sake of it, just loving for the love of it, without waiting any reward or punishment. And about the consent, there is a really beautiful story again about Rabia and Tauri, which is close friend of Rabia. One day Tauri says, okay, what do you think about me? How do you find me? And she says, you are a very nice person, very good person. If only you would not love that much the world. He says, what do you mean? And he is a person, important person at those times of working in the field of the hadith. And she says, your work of hadith is making your ego bigger, your nafs bigger, making you connected to this world. And he knows that she was right. So he says, God satisfied with me. He's praying. And Rabia says, aren't you ashamed of asking for the satisfaction of a person who you are not satisfied with? Which is like really, again, bringing the thing at that time what the person needs, right? And they are asking how a person can be pleased, how a person can give a consent. And she says, whenever the person is giving blessing, being in gratitude for the evil as well as the blessing. And they say, what do you think about Prophet Muhammad? Do you love him? And he said, of course I love him. On the other hand, my heart is so full with God that I don't pay that much attention to the creations of God. And again, another day they say, what do you think about Satan? And she says, my heart is so full with God, I don't have any place to hate Satan, the devil. And finally, maybe one of my favorite stories about Rabia. Rabia one day is running with fire in one hand and with water in the other. And some saints are asking, what is going on? Where are you going? What does this mean? And she says, I will light fire in the paradise and I will pull water on the hell. And finally, all the veils will disappear. And let's see what will happen after that if the people will continue to worship their Lord. So this is, in a way, like all her thoughts are like, boom, all mind-blowing for her time and for still, because they are true wisdom. I began to know about Rabia when I was reading a book called Sufi Women, which was a present of a dear friend of mine, because he knew that there was a question in my mind coming again and again for several years, and he bought that book to me as a gift. And that question was, who are the saints of my land? Who are the women saints of my land? And I was listening again and again this question, even though I was not sure why it was coming, but I was conscious about it. I began to read this book, and I was quite amazed with her stories, even though there were just two, this one, the last one that I told, and the one of the donkey, but I was quite amazed. Then I went to a breath work while I was still reading this book. And in the breath work, in the breath therapy, the therapist in the middle of the session said to me, I don't know why, but I have to tell you this name because I meant to. And she said, Hazreti Rabia. I was amazed because the person was not my friend. I mean, she didn't know anything about my life. And I was like, what is going on here? So I began to invite Rabia for my meditations. And after 2 weeks after this therapy, I passed through one of my darkest times in this lifetime of mine. And it was an incredible experience because when I was just passing through those times, I felt her presence with me. I felt her power with me in a way. It was really hard for me, but at the same time, I was giving my consent. I was feeling blessed with the evil. And I was feeling all the attributes of Rabia. And this is why I really love her. She has been a great support to me since then. I always felt loved and supported thanks to my connection to her. And we can talk a lot about her. We can tell many stories about her, and we can just with a story of her on all our life, we can contemplate on that theory, on that story. My intention was like giving a little of her, which actually during February I was writing about Ramadan for my blog, for my Sacred Space blog. And there, in a meditation, Rabia offered me that I needed to do this. And this is why I am doing this service as an offering. And I hope somehow I could facilitate that connection with you and Rabia, because right now we will go to a meditation. Whew, I spoke a lot because I wanted to explain many stories of her. Let's check the time. It's okay, it's great. So now it's time for meditation, for connection with her, really embodying and really getting the guidance. So I invite you to you can lie down. You will close your eyes. So with me, you can have some deep breaths. Yeah, let's do this. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Place your hand in your heart. Close your eyes if you want to lie down. And with your hands on your heart, lying down, breathing deeply. I really invite you to give this present for you. I invite you to send your breath to your heart space. Feeling your heart softening and opening little by little. I invite you to imagine there is a light shining through your heart, shining from below you, deep in the earth, passing through the sacred pathway of your beating heart. And moving up in the column of light into the sky, to the heart of the heavens. see how much you can open to these ancient codes of love flowing through you in the sacred channel, as it is as old as earth, as old as stars, as old as time. Bringing your whole consciousness into this light. Imagine now you are traveling on the light waves of your heart, traveling through time and space, your essence being pulled towards the heart of the infinite. And it's here that you are embraced by a love that is so much greater than you, a love that is woven into the all. As you begin to move through these light codes, you begin to sense that you are being pulled towards a place beyond physical reality, a place in the other world that's calling to you, deep in your soul. Little by little, the light around you gives way to a feeling of your bare feet, connecting into an ancient landscape. And little by little, you begin to see that you are standing in an old town, a town with earthy color. And the sun beginning to fade in the sky, and you see a simple path before you. You tap onto the path, your bare feet. You walk step by step, moment by moment, with your full presence up in the little streets of this old town. You feel safe and curious. There are little candles in the street, giving little light into the space. You see the last sunlight. You are close to a square now. You realize a beautiful fountain in the square. You begin to sense you are not alone. As the sun descends below the horizon, you begin to feel a presence. You see Rabia, that had taken fire in one hand and water in the other, talking to some other saints. Rabia sees you. She gives the fire and the water to others and approaches to you with a smile in her face. Rabia stands close to you, shining brightly with the power of love. Take this moment to truly see her and feel her. Feel her presence. She steps towards you and she looks you in the eyes and she says, I am love. She takes another step towards you, so she is very close to you now. She places a hand over your heart and she says, "You are love." You take a deep breath and feeling the touch of her hand and gifts of her words. Rabia then looks around and smiles and looks in your eyes and she says, "We are love." She says very softly and gently, "Are you ready for a journey of love? It is time of getting guidance, asking questions, contemplate and seeing the signs. It's time for the veils to disappear and seeing God in everything. It's time to live as a worship," she says. Rabia then presents you a gift to remind you the love. See the gift in your mind's eye and take a moment to really feel the blessing of this gift and offer her your heartfelt gratitude. Your time with Rabia almost ends. You ask to Rabia, "Do you have any guidance for me for the upcoming month of the Holy Ramadan?" Rabia offers you some guidance, her final parting words, just for you. Listen wisdom with your heart. Rabia looks into your eyes one final time. She smiles and turns and goes away. Then you hear an old song of love. Aşkın aldı benden beni, bana seni gerek seni. Ben yanarım dünü günü, bana seni gerek seni. You feel it's time now to return. With Rabia's gift, you begin your journey back. The moon is rising on the horizon, milky light illuminating your path. As you begin to approach the outside of the city, you see a doorway of light before you. You reach the doorway, and when you are ready, you step through the threshold where you are embraced by light, and you travel along the light waves of your heart once more. You travel through time and space until you come back into an awareness of your physical body. Breathing deeply as you feel the column of love flowing your heart space, once more rising up on earth into the heavens. I invite you to bring all this light down from the earth, up from the heavens. Bring it all to your heart space. Spend some time here, filling your heart, and take some deep breath. Slowly bring more awareness to your physical body. When you are ready, gently open your eyes, move your body, and maybe take a stretch. And when you are ready, take your journal and write anything to your journal. I also will have some journal prompts, some questions maybe could help you that I will copy and paste to the chat. So really without speaking, just try to write that wisdom down. Okay. Yeah, maybe I can show here. And I'm reading it. How did Rabia appear to you? What were your impressions and feelings? What was your experience from your connection to love? What does it feel like? Are you ready for a journey of love? Getting guidance, asking questions, contemplate, and seeing the signs to connect to your deeper truth? What gift did Rabia give you? And what was her guidance for you? I'm giving you 5 minutes or so for some journaling. Feel free to share when you are done. If you would love to share some touching things for you, it will be great. We can share here. Yeah, so like around 5 minutes. You have the questions also on the screen. Take your time. Okay. Slowly we can finalize. If any of you would like to share, it's more than welcomed. Yeah. This is weird though, as I don't see you. I don't know how was the experience for you. So it's quite weird situation. Yeah. Okay. So slowly we will close the circle of the sacred space. Ah. Harika. Harika, would you like to share anything? Would you like me to wait? Yeah, wow. Wow. Perfect. Enjoy it. Yeah, this is the one of the best experiences. Perfect. Okay. So slowly let's close the this sacred space, and then for those who would like to listen the journey of love, I will share a bit more. So let's close this circle with a poem of Rabia. And before that, I would like to give some thanks to Margaret Smith, who most of the stories I read from her book. She wrote the book, one of the most comprehensive one about Rabia. And also I would love to refer to Tara Wild. The meditation script and the inspiration from the flow of this event was from Tara Wild, from her Ancient Feminine session. And also the poem that I will read is a translation from Tamara Albertini's, which I have read her article in the internet. It was really one of the best ones. Okay, before that, let me read the answer of Attila. I felt like I was given rather a question in the most blessing way, almost something that goes like, what is stopping you from not giving yourself fully to love? Wow. Oh, thank you for sharing. It was really beautiful. I'm glad. Okay. So here is the poem of Rabia, which she has a lot of poems actually. Even though she didn't write any book, she wrote many poems. I love you with two loves. A love that is desire, and a love because you are worthy of it. As for the love that is desire, I occupied myself in the remembrance of no other than you. And as for the love because you are worthy of it, it is due to your uncovering of the veil to me so that I see you. No praise is due to me for neither this nor that love, but the praise for this and that love is due to you. Yeah, so let's close our sacred space with this beautiful poem of Rabi'a Al Adawiyya, Rabia of Basra. And in the last 10 minutes, I would like to share a journey of love during Ramadan, what I was working in the last 2 months. And if you have any questions, to answer them. Journey of love during Ramadan is a journey for 30 days. It starts in the first day of Ramadan and it finishes in the last day of Ramadan. And it is designed to ask questions, deeply listen, contemplate, be God conscious, and receive answers of these questions. In the design process of this journey, I have got inspiration from many verses, from Quran, hadiths, from poems, and from some quotes. In order to explain you better what is journey of love during Ramadan, I would love to give you 2 examples of this inspiration and the questions. One is the hadith of Prophet Muhammad. He says that the first part of Ramadan is mercy, the second part of Ramadan is forgiveness, and the third part of Ramadan is freedom from fire. So how we can live a Ramadan with the guidance of this hadith has been one of the questions that inspired me in the design of this process. And the next inspiration, to give you an example, is a poem of Rumi. He said, "So look for a blank paper, an uncultivated place. Be untouched place, the paper that's not contaminated by ink. That the pen of mercy honor you, and Rahman saw the seed of pure vision into his blindness." And with the inspiration of this poem of Ruby, there was a question which it was in mind in the process of this design is how one can become an untouched place, untouched paper, or an empty loot, as he says in the same poem, a place for the truth to shine. So what it includes, how it works is, as I have said, it's a 30 days journey. And each day you are receiving an email with text and also audio recording from me. And it consists 30 rituals. Some of them are very sweet and short, very inspiring, some contemplating questions, some little rituals, some inspiring thoughts, and others are maybe a bit longer rituals for you to support you with a video. And it takes for 30 days. It starts in the first day of Ramadan and it ends in the last day of Ramadan. And for who is it? If you are right now feeling that during this Ramadan, during this time of the year that's starting this Tuesday and finishing, I think, on the 12th of May, if you feel like you would like to go to an inner journey and in order to look for your truth, then this journey can be for you. If you are longing for a deep connection with God, if you are looking for seeing the artist in the art, seeing God in everything, then this connection can help you in a way. If you are looking for your own answers of what is Ramadan for you and what does it mean worship for you, then again this design can be for you. And getting some inspiration about Sufi tradition and Islamic religion, again you can get help of it. And again, if you really would like to have a person like to walk through this together, then this can be for you. And how to get it? Now I will send you a link in the chat. Yeah, Harika is saying I will. Thank you. In the link you will see. Normally I have put a price for it, which is $29, but for until the tonight, 12 o'clock at night, I have put it for $15. You can participate by paying this amount, and still, like, if you felt like you cannot, you can reach to me and we can find a way. If you really feel like, if you feel like there is a calling to get this journey, this can be a really important journey, because Ramadan is really a holy month that I'm looking forward for it. So if you have any question, if you would like to share something before closing the space, I will share with you the link right now. Again, I will share also my email. You can also see it in the web page of my sacred space, but still, here is my email if you need anything. If you have any question, you can also reach to me via email. And yeah, like some minutes more if you have any questions so that I can answer them. And actually, let me send you also the page, the description, here will be better. Here you have it. Thank you, Harika. I hope it, in a way, facilitate the connection with Rabia. I hope I could share my love to her and do this offering in a way. So yeah, it has been a really important journey for me. Thank you, Attila, for participating. I really feel a bit emotional as well, because as I have said, like, she's a very important character for me. And it meant a lot to do this today, which was also quite challenging, talking about her stories and saying such words like wisdom sharing of Rabia, because it's like onion, right? Each time we understand more. Oh, Harika is just saying my grandmother and my sister names are also Rabia. Wow. Yeah, what a nice name. So we have been in a journey today. We walked through with the stories of her. Inshallah, we will be in a position to understand her wisdom each time more, to the deeper of it. And then we make this meditation to connect to her, which we always have this connection with all these persons, with all these ashiks, arifs, errands, saints. They are the friend of God, and they never die, and they are there to help us. So I hope we always remember it, and then we can ask help to them. And also to God, as Rabia is showing to us, like, we don't need any person to just to be in union with God, right? And just one more thing to maybe say, to add. Really blessing Ramadan for you. I hope it will be your best Ramadan ever. And each time you will say, wow, it has been my best Ramadan ever. I hope this month you will learn so much about yourself, so that you will learn so much about God. And I hope you and me, we will all begin to see God in every place, and we will feel love in all our nerves, and we will just feel like we don't have to do anything. Actually, our way of living is worship. And Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. And as I have said, if you need anything, you can reach me from my email. I appreciate that you joined to me today, and many thanks. And see you around. I will put the recording to the YouTube page of My Sacred Space. So if you would like to share with anybody, or you would like to make the meditation again, it will be there in some days. So yeah, enjoy your time. Have a great night, and see you. This is weird. I am alone here. I feel like sometimes. Okay, see you. I'm closing.